while we talk about Kendrick Lamar, you know what I gotta do, right? Hold on. Gonna react to some fantastic hip hop. Listen. By the way, my name is Versatile, aka the Alkebulan Trusted Name you can trust when it comes to all things reaction. Right now, we are going to react to the latest thing that Fantastic Hip Hop released, which was how Kendrick just created the biggest problem for Drake yet. Yeah, and this is on Fantastic Hip Hop's channel. So shout out to Fantastic Hip Hop. Again, it's been a minute since I reacted to their stuff, so let's just keep it moving. I didn't even watch this, so why is it so that I watched this? Hey, we'll keep moving, let's go.
This might be the best website to learn new tech skills and how to code. This is Codecademy, an interactive platform where you can learn.
Now, when it comes to Kendrick Lamar, the time for all the whining and complaining.
Oh, wait. I was ready for him to say, when it comes to Drake, but man said when it comes to Kendrick Lamar, okay. Hold on. We just seen a problem here. Hold on. All right.
Now, when it comes to Kendrick Lamar, the time for all the whining and complaining from Drake and all of the other people a part of the biggest clown show in hip-hop is over, because as Kendrick just started off his Grand National Tour, we can officially say that the current king of hip-hop did not just further
all I really wanted was the Black Grand National, FB National, give him what they asked for. It's not enough. Sorry, I have to. Let's go.
Solidify this title with everything he did, but from once again elevating live rapping like we have never seen, to dissing and calling out Drake in his ridiculous lawsuit, to proving every single narrative Drake and his guys have been trying to say about him and this tour to be more than wrong. All together and in every sense of the word, Kendrick Lamar has managed to raise the bar more than we have ever seen. And making things even better, Kendrick isn't just holding that crown higher than he ever has, but he has really never pushed down and humiliated Drake any further, as he is really now showing how little he respects this guy for his lawsuit. And now, before we go any further into all of this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton, and now as what we have just seen as rap fans really just started off the next era for Kendrick Lamar, and there is going to be a lot more to come here, really be sure to leave that like and subscribe so that all of hip-hop can see one of the greatest runs we have ever seen from an artist just reach new levels. And so now with that said, right now with Kendrick Lamar, I mean, there is nothing better than seeing somebody who, despite winning so much and already having so much success, just keep pushing everything they are doing to new levels and continue to find ways to blow us all away. Because with night one of Kendrick's great,
do you know why that is? Yeah, it's like this is just evident that if you care about the craft, let's talk about, and it doesn't have to be just music or anything like that. But if you genuinely care about the craft of what you're doing, and you're seeing success, and you're just caring about, you're caring about the craft. So anything that comes with it is a bonus. Do you see what I'm trying to say? You're trying to elevate yourself. You're trying to learn. Like, that's what it feels like for me in regards to Kendrick Lamar. And this is even before the whole beef, even before the whole controversy as well. Like if you listen to his music, it just sounds like he's always been the guy to, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, and I'm glad in Mr. Morale he mentioned that he's not the savior. I'm not. What song was it? But anyway, let's keep moving. I know it's an album, but yeah.
Grand National Tour. From every single detail about this show possible, that is exactly what happened. And now, even before Kendrick's actual performance itself, as of course leading up to this tour, there were narratives coming out from Drake's side of things that were trying to push this false idea that it was not selling. After that, and all of the issues that Drake, OVO, and the clown show who follows these guys were trying to say over and over to discredit Kendrick and help their guy. Well, I mean, just making Kendrick's success even better. The spiraling we are seeing from this side of hip-hop could never be worse, because with how successful this show was from Kendrick, and again, this is only night one, so it's only gonna get better from here. These guys literally resorted to posting pictures of the seats when the arena opened to try and say that nobody was going and that Kendrick Lamar is not gonna be able to pull off this tour. And I mean, nobody believed this whatsoever, and they are already getting made fun of for trying to just lie on Kendrick's name once again. And especially now with this show officially being labeled a sellout, which now officially marks Kendrick Lamar moving 50,000 tickets in a single show, which is something that Drake has never done here. I mean, from all of that, which is just
Man, emphasize on the never. That Drake has never done. Hey, listen. I don't think there's many rappers in general that have, sold out a stadium tour. And some may argue, yeah, but because it says, yeah, you could argue that. That's debatable. I don't know. I mean, if you're the biggest artist, if you're one of the biggest artists, and like, well, let's just say if you're like in popular demand, do you know what I mean? And if you're genuinely in demand, then it's possible. Do you know what I mean? Like, he genuinely was in demand. He is in demand. He's in demand of releasing new music. What are we talking about? Like, he's, and that's the thing. Even before the beef, he was in demand of releasing new music. You know what I mean? He was in demand. So the fact that he created that demand, supply and demand. You know what I'm saying? Let's go.
Defining the boundaries in rap like we have seen, to the pictures and moments we can all see where the crowd was clearly filled up and everyone was waiting to see what Kendrick has to do. I mean, really, with one of the biggest gatherings in hip-hop ever, and we can all see that so clearly. It's already obvious that already on night one, Team Drake and OVO got nothing to run with here and to try and take down Kendrick with, and because of how good this all is and how this is all working out for Kendrick, I mean, if you thought all the winning Kendrick already doing was gonna be bad, this is really gonna be a long tour for them, because once again, continuing the story of this chapter from Kendrick and GNX, Kendrick continues to stay within this moment and make these performances a response to what is happening in rap right now. And specifically with this, what Kendrick ends up calling out is what Drake is still trying to do with everything about this beef, from his sneak disses to his suit. And now as Drake is getting more petty and pathetic at the same time, Kendrick showed him that no matter what he does and how he tries to change the outcome of what has happened, as Drake is whining, complaining, and writing papers, Kendrick is just gonna keep on running laps around him and show him that no matter what, he is not just the king of hip-hop, but that he is going to make sure that every single person knows that Drake didn't just lose the beef and get humiliated in an all-time fashion, but because of his own choices to take things this far and file a suit over a genre-shifting diss song. Drake is the sheer embodiment of what everything hip-hop needs to be against. And now,
that's true. That's very true. I agree with that. But I do want to add as well, just on a human thing, you know what I mean? On a human thing. This obviously, despite the allegations, this, that, and the third, like, obviously, if it is facts, then get me, he's gonna get what's coming to you, and that's just how life goes, right? But I do want to say this: where's Jay Prince? It's a genuine question. Where is Jay Prince? The one he has mob ties with. Where is Jay Prince? Where is he? Where's Birdman? The one who said he has Drake for life, or Drake has him for life, or whatever the case is. Where is he? Where are these guys? Where's Lil Wayne? Where are these guys to hold him down, to be like, to sit him down and say, "Yo, Drake, do you know what I mean? Chill. Like, chill. The beef is over. Like, you lost. Take the L. Like, because you need those people on your in your life to let you know that no, what you're doing is wrong. Right? It's time for you to take a look. That's a timeout. Take a timeout from this. Like, and in this case, withdraw your lawsuit, bruv. Like, what are you doing? This ain't hip hop. This is not hip hop. You know what I mean? You know the rules of the game. Get me? You know the rules of the game. The game chose Kendrick. You know what ways there. The game chose Kendrick. So what are we talking about? So, like, Jay Prince, Birdman, Lil Wayne, you know what I mean? They need to literally sit him down, and even his dad. You know what I mean? A Steve Harvey suit made him. You know what I mean? Anyway, in all seriousness, like they need to sit him down and just say, "Look, you're nearly 40 years plus. You're nearly 40 years old, and you're acting like this. Get me? You're 40 years old, showing up as a 7-year-old. Relax. Take out the lawsuit because it's frivolous anyway. Yeah, like there's literally holes in it. You're not gonna win this. Do you know what I mean? And the reality is, if you're like, it's not gonna hurt your career. Because look, I promise you, today when I went onto Shade Room's post on Instagram, yes, I go on Shade Room now and again. Yeah, like I saw people commenting, like you can tell they're genuine Drake fans. Maybe they're not genuine Drake fans. We don't know, but they were for Drake basically, from what it looked like for most of the comments. So I'm like, if that's the case, Drake's case is what? It's pointless because you're trying to say it's ruined the Not Like Us diss track ruined his reputation. No, it didn't. You still were able to go on tour afterwards. Do you know what I mean? You still you went to Australia. You know what I mean? And if memory serves correctly, like you were wearing a sweatsuit or a hoodie or whatever the case is, mocking the situation. Listen.
Now, Kendrick did this by making the visuals and the presentation between songs not just humiliate Drake within a setting like we have never seen, but also create a moment where Kendrick can send him so many different messages, because literally as this show started about the same day as Push Ups was officially released, just in terms of that, Kendrick has brought this beef full circle by making a new video and intro that he played before performing Not Like Us this time around, where he is making fun of Drake's lawsuit and all of the awful choices the guy made to try and push Kendrick Lamar to get him to diss him over and over again. And now Kendrick Lamar did this by creating a whole interview where he is in a literal deposition, which of course just plays into the suit so perfectly. And the guy is asking about all of the events of how we got here in the first place, which in of itself, responding to the paperwork and the place that Drake is taking things is already a genius move, because even in his art, Kendrick is creating the literal response to what is going to happen. But even again, adding another layer and entendre, as this itself has the same framing of this iconic Lil Wayne interview, which definitely, just with the angles and how Kendrick looks, it seems to be like he is echoing Wayne and this entire moment. I mean, all of this is so genius already. And so now in this moment where Kendrick is being reminded of the events of the beef, and the interviewer asks him where he was on certain dates that have been involved in this genre-changing era, as Kendrick says he doesn't remember what happened on these dates, and then the interview asks him if a certain phrase rings a bell. You see what Kendrick is trying to do here, and it really is the ultimate way to just humiliate Drake and make a funny joke. As the man repeats the phrase...
Yeah, I have to watch that for myself. Do you know what I mean? I thought Fantastic Hip Hop was going to show this clip. I won't even lie to you. I thought it was going to show it, but cool. We'll just watch it afterwards. And then, yeah, we keep moving the goal. Drop
over and over again, which is a clear reference to both the end of Push Ups and the start of Family Matters, of course. With Kendrick Lamar making this the intro for how he is introducing Not Like Us as a song into this era and set of shows, he is once again showing how Drake keeps giving this song more and more reasons to be played. And by doing this, he is reminding Drake that no matter what he is trying to say, and no matter what image and lies he is trying to create and get across to take down this record, and also Kendrick Lamar indirectly. At the end of the day, Drake is the one who brought the beef to this place and who was asking for Kendrick Lamar to release music like this over and over again, and that's exactly what he did. And so with Kendrick Lamar doing this on his tour, this just shows how much of a perfect and genius storyteller he really is. Because for you to somehow naturally introduce a track like that to the audience and at the same time dish your rival and embarrass him to the people by reminding everyone of what he wanted, and again, just like the Super Bowl, it does this amazing job of calling out Drake for the ultimate hypocrite and liar of who he is. I mean, overall, when you put this together, In terms of disses and storytelling, Kendrick is playing chess on a level that most people can't
Or
even
do you chess?
understand. Now, as
No, you're
Kendrick
not.
played this song and did this intro where he once again was just able to humiliate Drake in such a clever way, which spoke to literally every single thing they are involved in right now. And now because Drake at least got mentioned here, his fans are trying to say that Kendrick needs to mention Drake's name to have a career because that's the only angle they still can run with, although...
Yeah, I was seeing comments like that on the Shade Room still. You know what I'm saying? And I was almost going to reply back to someone and be like, no, that's wrong. If you look at what someone, at Drake, the previous thing when he went viral was because of mentioning Kendrick. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just facts. That is literally facts. But we move.
Oh, of course we know that's not true. I mean, first off, as Kendrick was able to perform 30 plus entire songs in a stadium setting, we know that that is not just the furthest thing from the truth. But now, even beyond that, Drake created his own luck here and made himself reach a point where even after losing the way he did, and again, if this was just left to music, this thing would have been over. He is still getting humiliated this bad just by the visuals and intro videos to set up the songs playing on this tour because of what he has done. And once again, just making sure from Kendrick that Drake is forever looked down upon for every wrong choice he has made, and that he is just clowned for disrespecting hip-hop the way he has. Kendrick continued to not let up on him, as whether it was performing Euphoria in this show as well. Which even there, Kendrick continued to change and bend lines, which sounded even better live here than ever, and Kendrick made sure
This
to
is
include...
one thing that Kendrick always does. He changes the lyrics, bruv. Like, he changes the lyrics, which is good because you never know what he's going to say. So that's why you got to kind of pay attention, but you also want to sing along and all stuff that or rap along, depending on what song it is. So yeah, let's keep moving.
Include every single humiliating moment where he called out Drake here in of itself, to even Kendrick trolling and showing that he can do the whole petty thing better than Drake ever could by performing tracks like Poetic Justice, which is of course Kendrick and Drake's song where Kendrick is the leading collaborator. And even with SZA performing RBD from For All the Dogs, this was just another hilarious way to troll Drake within a manner by showing that they are the stars from these songs and that just from performing their parts of these records, they will manage to not just erase Drake from hip-hop and even his own music.
Now, I hear that, yeah, but the thing is, even with them performing that, I'm pretty sure Drake still gets a certain I forgot what it is. I don't know if it gets publishing from it because when you perform a song, like, so for me personally, you know what I mean? I would be super petty and I would omit those songs from my set list. Do you know what I mean? That's just personal. That's what I would do. What would you do? I genuinely be that petty. Like, I ain't performing that song. Like, you're mad. Do you know what I mean? Let's go.
Music in some senses, but that they will continue to put everyone around Drake in absolute shambles, as these artists just show how unbothered they are while they perform these songs that are directly with the guy who wants their runs to be over more than anything else. And now with Kendrick Lamar just putting together all of these disses within this show and still creating an experience that is so much bigger than it, with so much happening and Kendrick literally shutting down every narrative that Drake and OVO were going to try and use to ruin this genre-changing moment on the literal opening night of this thing, I mean, now seeing how much they failed in every single aspect, it is really going to be an awful time for these guys going forward, because while the rest of us are enjoying Kendrick, SZA, and Mustard do absolutely unreal things with this show, like with Kendrick and SZA doing over 50 songs in a single set, everyone on the other side of things is going to have to act like this is not just bad.
How many? How many? How many? 50 songs. Hey, yo, how long was the tour, bro? Like, how long was the show on that day? And that's the first day. You guys need to pace yourself, please. We don't want you to suffer from exhaustion out here. Come on, man. Damn.
Bad. But they're gonna have to try and hype up whatever ridiculous things and antics Drake is doing, because that's all he is giving you right now, and that's all he is locked in with. And now when we see that during the anniversary of when this beef really started and the diss track started to come out, Drake and his fans are focusing on all the paperwork and claims that he is making, and they're trying to just argue about what we all saw and what actually happened in the most baseless way. And at the same time, Kendrick fans are enjoying the guy on a tour like we have never seen, where just based off the first show, he is upping his skills as an MC and live performer like we have never seen before. I mean, it has never been more clear. that there are just levels to all of this, and you have never been able to see easier who is the winner in all of this. And so now with us being at this point, and again, when it comes to Kendrick Lamar throwing these disses between a set that celebrates this entire era in his career and the greater picture, he is really letting Drake know that he should quit now, because with things already being this bad for him, what Kendrick is really starting to show here is that he can still take things even further and make sure that everyone knows the full truth and story of what's going on, and as a result,
Kendrick did say, you take it there, I'll take it further. There's something you don't want to do. Ooh. For real though. And I'm here for this. I can't even lie. But the thing is, yeah, it's all entertainment at the end of the day. They both in a position where, you know what I mean? Like, obviously, this is what I'm gonna say. It's just a battle, bro. Like, he lost. Drake lost. It's fine. Like, it's fine. It's like if you battle someone else, you may win that battle. You know what I'm saying? You never know. You never know. Maybe that's what he needs to do. Maybe he needs to get into like the battle arena and work his way back up. I guess. I don't know. I don't know at this point. I don't know. Like, I mean, he said he studied rap for a living. I mean, sorry, he studied battle rap for a living. So if you studied it, you don't need to sue. You don't need to go to a lawsuit. You don't need to do that. But anyway, let's keep moving.
Everybody sees how big of a hypocrite he is. And so as we are seeing this with this entire tour and what's going down, I think it's clear to say that as all of this goes forward, it's only going to play a bigger role between what Kendrick Lamar is trying to do and the message and story he is trying to create. Because again, with this entire Grand National Tour, it's not just giving us a regular live performance, but it is answering to every single doubt and diss that Drake and his guys are trying to use against Kendrick. And so with this, and I mean, if all of this only happened on night one and Kendrick was able to make things this exciting, well, it's more than clear to say that as this tour goes on, things are only going to go up from here, and really we are only going to see more legendary moments for Kendrick Lamar and everyone on his side of things. And of course, now as we see Kendrick just keep leveling up, and again just call out Drake and show that they are nowhere near the same level, and that Drake at the end of the day is the one who created every single problem going on, both in terms of how the fans feel and with all of the paperwork that he is trying to push. I mean, somehow, and even again while performing, Kendrick is managing to not just expand his mission as an artist, but he also has came one step closer to ending all of this ridiculous stuff Drake's doing once and for all. And so now with all this said, let me know, what do you think of the opening night of Kendrick Lamar's tour, his new disses and jokes he has for Drake, and going forward, what do you think is going to happen with this tour, and how do you think Drake is going to respond to these disses now that he is being made fun of on a new and more direct way to fans than we have ever seen? Well, I can't wait to hear what you have to say about all of this, and now if you made it to this point in the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton. And now if you want to see how before this, things just got even worse for Drake than ever because he just made a mistake so bad, and as a result, he has really been realizing how much of an awful moment he is in, which is of course saying so much. If you have seen anything on his downfall, check out the suggested video.
Listen. Shout out to Fantastic Hip Hop. Let's just go straight to the comments, see what people are saying. Wait, what was that? Okay. Anyway, now when it comes to Drake, all right. So Drake will add the Grand National Tour to his lawsuit. Hey, listen. At this rate, it may seem like that. Let's not. Oh man. Now, when it comes to Kendrick Lamar, I love Kendrick's pettiness. He's so funny. He ain't going to let Drake breathe. The words drop will haunt Drake for the rest of his life. All right, I'm going to leave my comment. I'll be like, the amazing thing about this is the fact that all Kendrick is doing is responding to Drake. So if Drake stops, maybe he won't humiliate himself further. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm just trying to think about it from a logical point of view. Like, if you stop doing this, then you won't get this result. That's just the reality of it. I think. I'm saying I think because this is Kendrick Lamar. It might be a thing where, you know what? Nah, you deserve all the smoke you get, but then it will seem like it's, I don't know. How do you spell humiliate? Humiliate. Yeah? It's a weird way to spell it, but anyway. All right, let's get into the next one.